Hello, everybody, and welcome to Lost to the Rabbit Hole. I'm your host, Josh Myota, and this is our first ever live edition. We're live on YouTube, maybe Facebook right now. I am not sure. I hope there's a bunch of you out there joining us. Welcome, Rocko.
Hello. How's everybody doing? You wanted to do the introduction, you said?
Yeah. Today's. I'll go.
I'll read it. I can refresh people's minds, to where we're going to go. Okay. All right. So, okay. So my name is Rocko. I am a MK Ultra Montauk SSP survivor, and also I am currently still active on missions on Mars. And several different other planets that I have yet to be able to retrieve some of the information from our intel. But once again, my name is Rocko. Rocko was an elite programmer at Montauk. After climbing the ranks within the organization, he was tasked to help new recruits develop their skills to fight within the ranks through any means necessary. He would break the trainees to build them up into seasoned soldiers. Using his psionic abilities, he was able to pull alters and to help assist in bringing out the required attributes that were required for military service. So, all right, we'll start off. 3 years old. First of all, I'm a surrogate. My mother could not have children. They used her egg. My father was involved as well with that. So my mother's not really, it's not my biological mother in a sense, kind of in a sense, but it's weird. It's a weird surrogacy can be weird. But I was a surrogate, and I was born in Largo, Florida, in 1987. And I was, we moved to New York, I'd say around maybe 1-ish, 2-ish. I still have kind of a blank there, but at 3 years old, I didn't remember this till later on. I didn't remember a lot of the stuff I'm about to tell you till later on. And it's like every day the book just keeps opening and opening and opening and chapter after chapter. It's like an unread book that I'm rereading. Interestingly enough, it's like, okay, what are we in for? A Stranger Things episode? So anyways, what I was explaining in there is I was put through as a baby. I was abducted. My first encounter with an ET was, it was a gray, and there were 4 of them, and they were surrounding me, and my mom and my dad. I was in the middle of the bed, but my mom told me that they were looking directly at me. So from, I'd say about, 3 all the way up to about 10, all this, I was being abducted on a regular basis. I was scared to sleep in my own room. I do have like flashes of being in underground laboratories being worked on, my brain being worked on, me being psionically trained, noticing other people like in lab coats, not understanding any of this at all. And still sometimes, I question my sanity on a regular basis, because a lot of people out there, they are quick to say, oh, well, this sounds just like some sci-fi story. No, this is my life. I went through it. I'm going through it, and I'm going to continue to tell my story. Now, speed ahead. Let's go right into this, where I happen to be the programmer. I happen to be the one where when you came through, I got tortured too. It was in Montauk, Long Island, New York. It was an underground base deep beneath the surface of Camp Hero, aka Fort Hero. My last name, Fowler, Montauk equals Fowler. Why I say that is because there was an Indian tribe with my last name, Fowler. So my last name goes back a ways, and so do my family when it comes to this. But so we're in this program, right? And I'm programming all these people. And what I would do is I would sit these kids in the chair, and I literally would either telepathically scream in their head, so they would allow for me to pull that altar to the front, so that I could pull it out, reprogram it with songs, like a sentence, or maybe an assassination programming, or whatever type of programming I was tasked to do with the kid. And I was there to assess it. So I would assess, and then I'd place the altar back in, and then I'd put them down. And some would be easy. Some of the kids I'd have to rip out of the chair and get brutal. I remember one kid was not doing it correctly, was not acting, correct, was being a smart mouth. And he remembers me hitting him with my right hand in the left side of the face. Others remember me using my knee, and teeth would go flying. I remember electrocution, using electrocution on others. Also these, like, there'd be wristbands, and your hands would be in the chair, and I could just zap them. If you weren't doing it, I would continue until I got it out, until I got that altar out. Now, there were some that I would say came to me with like a bow around their neck. And that one would be Steve. And when Steve came to me, I remember him saying, jokes to me and stuff and whatnot, but I was pretty brutal with him.
We do have a Steve in the comments right now.
Yeah, Steve understands it all. Trust me, he'll tell you right now. He can get on here if he wants. I don't mind. If you want to send him a link, you want to pop on here, bro, go right ahead, man. If that's cool with the host. That's what the collective soul is about, buddy. If you remember our training. It's down to, like, I play songs and people are like, wow, you used to play that song Collective Soul, which was December. And if you look at it, there's a portal, and it's like where all the fractured, pieces to people that are missing that we're trying to retrieve. They were, you understand, in that portal. So we'd have to pull them. I'd have to pull them out. And we're still having to pull them out. And we're still having to find those parts. And we're still having to, try to help one another heal. Not hurt one another, but it happens. So with Steve, it got to a point where there were two of them. Christy Campbell, which is such an angelic being, full of light, full of love. And had helped me retrieve a soul fragment, which is an altar by the name of Raylan. And she was one of the ones that I tortured as well, Raylan. And I remember
You all right, Rocko?
Yeah.
They're just checking your nose.
No, man. Yeah, no, I keep everything noted because it's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could you tell us about some of the operations you and some of the other super soldiers you trained were involved in?
I'm not going into that. I'm going into this. This is important because it's fresh. So now it's interesting how it all works, because energy, connection, consciousness, you understand, psionic abilities. I know I'm being taken on these missions to literally, I have what is called our pyrokinesis is what I have. So I'm able to use my eyes, and I can burn colonies of these dark reptilians and these other dark races. I do remember astral missions, and on these astral missions, we would do what is called rescue missions, because the reptilians like to eat kids. So, that's one thing we would do. And the three in the Halo is me, Steve, and our team. We're a 3-man team. Because, certain kids we would, like I'd get along with. Like I'd be giving them codes. I'd be teaching them how to communicate with me telepathically, to give me messages, because what they would do with Ray Lynn, see, this is how they would mess with me, because they knew that Danny, my alter, which is a part of me, so therefore is me. Now it could have been a time freeze, like a bubble. It could have just been, time stop. And then I was sent back 20 years. We don't know, like that's something, eventually it will come to light, I believe. But so they would remove Ray Lynn, and I taught Ray Lynn telepathically communicate to me when they remove you and let me know before I even get to the base. Because see, I wasn't housed at Montauk on this timeline. I was not housed. I was a teen/teacher. I was 16 years old. And I worked with kids that were like, I'd say between 7, 8, certain age, young kids I'd be working with that whole time. So I grew, close to Ray Lynn. And this is what I said, or what, thanks to Christy in the notes. Ray Lynn upset in her cell. Ray Lynn was wanting to see Danny. He would come into her cell. He brought her a teddy bear and put a keychain inside the bear that had a recorded message for her. He would tell her when he was leaving to look inside the bear. She would right away feel happy. He recorded songs and messages for her. He would ask, "How is everyone?" Is treating her. I would ask, "How is everyone treating her?" He would be there to give program messages like, for example, "You're a good little girl. Do a good job for me. Be a good girl for me," etc. He would sit on the bed and sing to Ray Lynn. Talk to, give a code to, and pull an altar. Give program message, then put altar back. Danny wears black hoodie, black pants, and black boots. So now, yeah, it's a deep one.
Heavy one.
It's a heavy one. So Steve, I began to give him messages as well. Like those, Steve and Ray Lynn were the two that I would mostly, my attention was on. You understand? Like my attention was, like, they were the first cells that I would go see. Like the other kids, like I was nice. There's other people out there contacting me on a continuous basis saying, "I remember you. Yeah, you did this to me in the chair. Yeah, you did these horrible things to me. I was a monster. I literally at one point was a monster. Like there was no getting around that. Like no getting around that. Like it was, I mean, I have a testimony on my Facebook from another man. Now, the interesting part about this is a lot of these, when I was a teen / teacher, a lot of these were kids, but now they're in their, some of them, I believe, are in their late 40s. Some of them are a year older than me. Some of them are, so it's weird because like I, as a kid, was always like, now I look at it like, okay, maybe I was just that hidden kid in the bunch. You know what I mean? That's why they kept me in the special needs, because they would transfer me from a base. I'm not going to go and say that base due to, some minor threats that I've been getting. And that's just that. But they would transfer me from that base, and I would come through a portal in Montauk. And then when I would come through that portal, it was like, okay, I would see our team, and he'd be like, "These maggots, I'm just tired of him. Like, he was the type that would just, like me at points in time, I just throw you in a cage. I'd throw you in a cage and tell you shut your mouth or obey my orders, soldier. That's how I got. I was brutal to the T. I mean, I would choke you. I would punch you. I would pull kids out of the chair and then put, like, for instance, Raylyn, at one point, I would do that with, I would bring another kid in by the name of, I'll just say John S. And I would beat the crap out of them. And when the other kids would see me doing this to other kids, it actually broke them more. Or we could just go ahead and put you in a reptilian feeding room where, and strap you down and make you watch these beings, reptilians, eat children right in front of you. I mean, limb to limb. Like, this is disgusting. This is horrible. This is, but this is the truth. This is the truth. Because once again, when you can actually, like, I was laying on the floor and I was messaging with Christy Campbell, and everything, it was like our conscious, our energy, it completely connected. And everything she was telling me, I was remembering everything she was telling me. Like, it was, and I was seeing it, I was visualizing it. So, whoa, that was wild in itself. The visualizing the actual events taking place.
Why were you only close to the two kids?
I just took a liking to them. And honestly, it's the connection that we are running into now where, Steve, if you want, you can message it right in the chat and say whatever you want to say. Feel free. But I took a liking because I wanted to protect Raylyn. And Danny also had, some kind of like love for Raylyn. So what I've been trying to do is lately, being that I can pull altars, right? I'm trying to, keep that altar near me so it will stop making Christy emotional, because, like, whenever we're in a conversation, this altar gets very upset. In a way of, they want me. You understand? Raylyn wants me, and it's like a teen. I have a picture of Raylyn, what she looks like, and she gives me comfort. I feel like it was a missing piece that I really needed to continue to heal, and it feels good that she's back. It feels like forever. I connected like that. It feels like forever. It was a healing experience. There's still pain there. Finding out that to Steve, so they had teddy bears, as I said in what she wrote, and I do remember that. One had a rabbit, Steve, stuffed animal. And I completely ripped the head off of the rabbit. And yeah. So that's painful because he loved that rabbit.
Oh.
I remember waterboarding kids. I remember dunking their head under the water and not pulling them, especially if they would not act correct in the chair. I would literally, are you gonna freaking listen? Like, for real, are you gonna listen? And then I take my knee and just knee him in the stomach. I didn't care. I was ruthless. But then there was a point where, things started to simmer down, kind of. But, like, I mean, I have made, I'd say, several apologies to several people that I have harmed. And I mean harmed. And they have memory of me. Like, it's not just one person. It's not just two people. It's at least, I'd say, about a good 5 or 6 already that has contacted me. So it's hard, especially hearing what I've done. But I'm healing. I'm continuously speaking, telling the truth. You know, me and Steve have many memories together. I trained him in boxing. I trained him to be a killer. I trained him to kill with his mind. I trained him the two words, desist or die, which if you meditate on these words long enough, you will understand and begin to understand the power that is within these words, because there's power in these words. It's how you, it's not, oh, it's how you send the energy. It's how you pull the altar. You don't play around. It's not time for games. When training was time for training, it was time for training. Get your butt up, get ready, and get to training. And yes, they were dog cages. Yes, they were. Any questions?
Yes. When you talked about the halo, I didn't really understand that. Was that like the craft you guys used or the portal to get somewhere?
I'm sorry, when I talked about what?
The portal in the beginning, or not the portal, the halo in the beginning.
No, the halo are the three soldiers. That's how we were.
Okay. Okay.
Steve depicted us as being a three-man team. It's me, Arkeem, and him. So, yeah, that's us three. When we would go on missions, Black Ops missions, when, like I said, we'd go to Mars, we'd clear out bases. We'd go to Saturn, we'd clear out bases. We'd go all over and clear out bases, like literally just clear them out. Like Steve's, I mean, the way I trained Steve was like he was so like equipped to like go and just explode different planets right here with his own mind. It's like, you know, things that he needed to do, like simple tasks. Like he would go and he would do them, and it was like, yeah. Or I remember there was another guy where our team where he was another asset that worked with me when we did similar things to people, to the kids. Art was a little more harsh with the kids. I mean, I was too. You know, I'm not gonna sit there and sugarcoat my behavior, but I will say that it got crazy, because eventually I started to really like not care, and a lot of these kids, I taught them stuff, and then they go back and teach each other. And one thing I would do is I got really angry. I would go in and I would grab like 3 or 4 kids, and I'd make them fist fight with one another, beat the hell out of one another. And Preston would actually videotape some of that stuff. Also, the other stuff, the, you know,
yeah,
good feeling, you know, we'll just say, you know, that, you know, I mean, if anybody can't pick up on the good feeling, you know, like, yeah. So, man, it's interesting. It's very interesting, this stuff, how far down the rabbit hole you really can go. So Steve was just like literally so smart. Like he would do things, he would tell me things, he would warn me. I remember when I gave him a hug, and I was actually crying because I was like, I don't like doing this stuff to you guys. I don't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to do it. No. But I knew if I didn't do it, I'd be tortured even more than I was already being tortured. Because I still got tortured even though I was a teacher or teen/teacher. I was 16 years old at the time. And yeah. So far, the last, I'd say day or so, I've been feeling a lot better, but you know, things happen, and I'm highly targeted on a regular basis. I've had a lot of issues with people making up assumptions. You know, I'm targeted because I speak, and when you speak, you're going to get targeted. you're going to get targeted. And I am not just targeted by the United States government. I am, or CIA, whatever you want to call them, whatever 3-letter agency you want to call them. I am getting threats from the dark race. I was abducted, I'd say, right before I met, I think it was before I met Christy. I'm not sure, but I was abducted, and there was someone else present I will not mention due to my targeting and due to I don't need another 3-letter agency coming here and saying that I am crazy. So there you go. Anyways, that individual, that really hit me because it's something close. So that's all I'm going to say with that. They were experimenting on her, and I had to sit there and watch. And there were dark reptilians, and I remember the stench. I remember it was like a sulfur smell, and it was cold. And I woke up with a huge mark on the side of my leg, like literal pinholes on the side of my leg. Also, not too long ago, I haven't had any triangular marks. One popped up on my chest. And I remembered being on some type of laboratory table, kind of like what I showed you. And I was being experimented on I don't understand why in my chest area, but they were doing something. It could have just been, they were taking DNA. I don't know, but I woke up gasping for air. Because usually when I wake up gasping for air, it's like the air pollution here is totally different than the air pollution on like Mars, where you can breathe. The air there is better than the air here, to be honest. It's like way more clean. And just horrible things. It's like right now I can envision, all this stuff, like the torture, the videos that they would make us do things with each other, and they would videotape it while we were doing it. And I was one of the ones that took quite a bit part in, acts of inhumane stuff to other people. Not really males, I don't remember. It was more the females. Danny had what they had call it is like I don't know. Everybody, like when certain other teen/teachers would go off duty and I'd come on duty, everybody would be happy. Everybody would be happy because they knew they weren't going to get as bad. Because at one point I broke past all of that, and Steve helped me with that. And I started to retaliate against certain other assets. I would tell these other assets, fuck you. I'm not doing what you want me to fucking do. I'm not hurting these kids anymore. No, I'm not. And they hated that. And, it was almost like I can remember now that I would almost allow more torture on myself at times where, I would just take the brunt end of stuff as well. And Steve would as well, because it was like every time one kid would get in a chair, another kid would be placed in the chair. And it would be like one after another, after another, after another, after another, after another. So, I mean, I don't know how many I literally was doing for, in one day. I don't know. I can't, but I have very, 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 my higher self came through, showed him the light. Yes, that's right. You did. His higher self came through and showed me the light. You can bring him up if you want.
And that was what I was going to try. I clicked the wrong one.
Beastie Boys, I won't do what you tell me to. Yup. And then talk about, the Collective Soul. Remember that song during training, December, Collective Soul. And remember the picture I showed you. It looks like a portal and it's going down. Pretty interesting how if you really sit back and you like look at certain things and you decode certain things, and with programming alters is now as what I do is I try to program it to be better. I try to program it. And if I had, like, for instance, with Raylyn, it's been good having her around. I feel her presence. Like right now, I feel her hugging me. I feel her telling me it's all okay. I feel her saying, thank you for coming back into my life. Yes. Wow. That's funny, Steve, you bring that up because I am a Rage Against the Machine. Hell yes, absolutely. Rage Against the Machine. That's right. Rage Against the Machine. I wish he would get up here, man. I love his energy. Anyways, so yeah, it's very wild to say the least, this journey that has began. But I'm happy. Like, I didn't expect to be as happy because of a situation that took place last night. Yeah, I would totally. Oh man, I would enrage. I mean, the rage in Steve, it came out at one point. I was happy about that actually. That just showed that he was very strong and he was ready to move on. So now, now we're here, and now we're working through these things. I don't really like to stay in the problem too much. I try to stay in the solution as much as possible. I believe that the recalls sessions are good, because like I'll start talking about something, or I'll, like I said, play a song, or I'll say something, and somebody might say, "Wow, that resonates with me." Or like the other day, somebody from another country said they swore they saw me, like in their country. Like, so, that's what I mean. Like, how many clones do I really have? Am I really speaking to a man, or am I speaking to a clone? I don't know that. I can't, I don't know that, that I'm just throwing that out there. It's like when I sit in front of a whole group of people, how many of them are real people and how many of them are really just clones? Because they've done that.
I've got a question for you.
I won't go into that. I'm sorry, Pamela. I will not go into that. I don't want to go into that. Yeah. I mean, that's horrible. I don't want to go too deep into that. So now another memory comes through. All right. Now, Christy Campbell says, I remember there's a project called Project Ibis. And I started looking at the pictures she sent me, and I looked at the castle, and I started to remember this castle. And I started seeing, Michael Aquino. I also saw Ray Lynn, which me and Ray Lynn would cuddle for protection. And I mean, there was blood sacrifice rituals going on. I remember seeing them drinking. They would, have the kids drink the blood when they actually sacrificed me. And I believe it was like maybe a Lionsgate portal that opened, but I remember they took a knife and shoved it right into my upper area. And I was a kid, and I was sacrificed in that program. And I don't know where I ended up from there. I believe it was Mars. But then again, it's like, that program there was horrible. I mean, sex orgies, all different kinds of things. It was just horrible. Bush Senior, he was there doing his rounds. Once again, Michael Aquino. I believe I actually saw the Queen there, like shapeshifted into like some reptilian form. It was crazy. It's a wild memory. It's something I'm still partly digging into. It's not an easy one. I can tell you that right now. It's definitely not an easy one.
I'm going to shoot some questions at you, if that's all right.
Yeah, it's fine.
With some of the missions you had to do and the brutality that you're displaying with the kids do you think some of the ETs that they were facing up against, definitely you were doing what you needed to do? You know what I mean?
That was. But do I like living with that? No, I don't. I don't. But yeah, for sure.
The other question I was going to ask you too was your first abduction. Do you think that was you being first recruited into Project Montauk when the Grace took you as a child, or was that something completely different?
Because it starts at a young age, but not like the brutal shit where they bring you and they turn you into a fucking soldier. And that's the problem. We need more soldiers. Like Arkeem Ross said it, and I love it. Sometimes an asset needs to be broken to get the fucking point. And that's what had to happen to me. I had to be broken. Just like a fucking horse. I had to be broken. So, some of it I feel was type beneficial because some of these people, once they tap into their abilities, and if I worked with them in the chair, I will be able to help them in certain ways through sending energy, helping telepathically, psionically, doing all different kinds of things, tactics to help them however I can. Instead of doing what the other programmers would do and steal people's memories and make them go nuts and they end up in jail, drug overdose. It didn't matter. It didn't matter.
Often that happened where a soldier would just be retired and just...
I had five people that I was involved in this stuff with. I've already, yeah. R.I.P.
Do we have any questions from the chat? Anything for Rocko? Oh,
oh, how did I flip? Meaning like my attitude, or how did I flip out? Oh, I flipped out big time. I remember like going nuts, and you went nuts as well. Yeah, you fucked me up bad. Absolutely. Yeah, that's one thing I can say. Salute. You know, that's a soldier right there that eventually, you know, helped me realize that, you know, by kicking my ass really bad, okay, and this is weird, right? So after I did that, it was like he beat me so bad, I was bloody, and I, you know, made it to Raylan's cell, and you know, we did the you know, and I ended up healing because I gave her codes to remember. So if something ever happened to me like that, I could instantly heal and, you know, be back in shape, type, like ready to go again. But it also broke me, and that was when I believe I laid my head on Steve's shoulder and I started crying and saying, you know, I don't want to do this to you kids anymore. And I started using when he would do like certain things to certain, you know, other teens / teachers, I wouldn't even care. I wouldn't even care. Like, you know, they tell me, oh, you need to do this. And I say, fuck you. You need to go fuck yourself. Like, it got to a point where I started to break that. I started to break through that. And, you know, but they really tried every tactic on me they can. They try every tactic on me, every single tactic you can think of. Everything. Anything else, Steve?
I'll have to have you both on sometime. Not sure. I would invite him in, but I'm not quite sure how to do that with this program.
Just gotta pin the link. That's all. Oh yeah, when you blew from your restraints. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was wild. Yeah. That was fucking wild. That was wild. Yeah, he woke me up then. Yeah, he woke me up then. I will say that. That's one soldier right there that has stuck by my side. And finally, and you know, interestingly enough, this angelic being, beautiful, you know, spirit, Christy, you know, a great healer, you know, has connected me with a lot of assets. That it's pretty much like, okay, it's interesting. It's almost like, you know, she doesn't so much want to communicate with a lot of these other boys. So like what I do is I put up the forefront and I say, you have to contact me if I'm working with them, right? If it was a maggot in my chair, whoa.
What's up? All right?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, wow. 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 Wow, yeah. That was, yeah. Yeah. But she introduced me to a lot of these people. So if it's one of those assets that I was, you know, kids that I was training psionically, or reprogramming their altars, pulling their altars, doing what I have to do, and then placing the altar back, like I said, you know, a lot of them were not built like, you know, there were a lot that I did not work with, but I really, it was like me, it was Christy, wonderful. Like I said, once again, I can't stop because like the healing she's brought me, and the memory recall she's brought me, and the test subjects, or assets, or kids, or whatever you want to call it, they're contacting me now. And I did an interview with her, and this all spiraled from the Typical Skeptic podcast. So congrats, there. Thank you to Rob as well, because if it wasn't for Rob, I would have never met any Steve. I would have probably never met any of these fellow comrades. We're all in this together. We've all been the abuser, and we've all been abused. So it's like a triangular effect. It's like a time loop, and stuff just keeps, happening over and over and over again. So we're trapped in a time loop at times. So we need to bust through these timelines, because what's going on right now is these timelines are just completely like merging. You know what I mean? Like merging together, it seems. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sam Skywalker. Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely, it will. Absolutely. It'll heal all of us. Absolutely. The med bed. Absolutely. Absolutely. But it's not easy to talk about that type of stuff sometimes.
No.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, it really is. It really is, because that's what I mean. The merging of the timelines is definitely happening, and it's weird. It's really, really weird. I mean, if you look at what happened with, and it wasn't successful, but the last time it was successful, right? So I don't know. That part right there is pretty interesting as well. And that's what they do, is they take kids, use them, program them to go do something, and they don't even realize what they're being programmed to do, and they go do it. And they're just used as like a piece of garbage. That's it. Just use the kid. Program into his head, go in his dad's, cabinet, grab what he's got to grab, and go attempt. Disgusting. And Congress ain't going to do jack fucking diddly squat, okay? We, us, assets, soldiers, workers, we are called upon. We are the ones. The greatest thing is, let me tell you something. For anybody out there that's on an antidepressant, get off of them and start taking gratitude, which is, being grateful for the small things in life that we have, right? So gratitude, right, is the best and most affordable, because it doesn't cost anything. And it's one of the best antidepressants you can ever take. And it doesn't come in a pill form, and you don't have to go sit in front of a psychiatrist and you crazy because you have all these memories, or you want to talk about this stuff. I get it. We don't need that. We don't need that. Keep your kids out of public schools. There are still trick chairs underneath public schools that are doing things. They're doing things to your kids. Yes, connecting hearts heals hearts. Sharing our stories, releasing trauma. Yes, absolutely. Because when you release that trauma, now you can actually, go through it and look at it and say, okay, well, I can better myself this way. Changing bad habits, or changing habits, period. If they're a bad habit, change it to a good habit. Do whatever it takes. Recentering, exactly. Recenter the mind. Shift. We shift with the shift going on right now. Don't go this way. Don't let people, get at you. Don't. Stand in your truth. If you feel you were telling the truth, speak your truth. That's right. Speak your truth. Don't be afraid. We all have to deal with some of the stuff that we're dealing with, the attacks, the threats, the whatever. That just means what, my friends? We are doing something correctly, okay? We are doing something correctly. The mind is more powerful than what we are told, and all the stuff we have been taught in school is a complete lie. It's all a brainwashing technique. Every bit of what we were taught, lie. Christopher Columbus. Oh my God. The Indians were here. How the hell did Christopher Columbus find it? I mean, that's what I mean. Like, when you're a kid, yeah, you're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah. I'm ready to get out of class. You know what I mean? Like, I'm tired of being dragged underneath, a school and being experimented on, or, being put in a chair and then, sent to another, facility, to do all this crazy stuff, and then end up back and then end up at my desk and waking up from like I was in a freaking dream. But if you tell this to anybody else that doesn't understand, they're just going to call you a nutcase. But I really don't care. I really don't care. Call me a nutcase. Call me what you want to call me. But I have several testimonies of other individuals that I have done work with, and also that remembered me. I mean, you can go to my Facebook page and read them. They're there, remembering me, explaining, in detail. Getting up in the morning, instead of making my first cup of coffee, getting on an internet live on my YouTube and doing a video and speaking with another survivor who remembers me as well. So, being less selfish and more selfless is the best thing, because the more you help, the more the universe is definitely going to provide. And the universe provides no matter what.
What's up, Rocko?
No, Christopher Columbus. I'm talking about what we were taught in this timeline, Sam Skywalker. I'm not going to debate with you. I'm not going to debate with you on that one. No debating with me, pal. Not going to happen.
Well, we know Leif Erikson was here 1,000 years before Christopher Columbus, anyways.
What's that?
We know Leif Erikson was here 1,000 years before.
I know. That's what I mean. People just say, you can believe that. We're entitled to. I already just said it. Who was here? The Indians were here. Christopher Columbus, the Indians were here. Let's wake up, people. Wake the consciousness up. Come on, wake up. We're in 2024. They're full disclosure. Okay? We need full disclosure. We don't need this pity pan bull crap, freaking, made up, freaking corporate, organizations, new agey, where when you go behind the doors, there's some wicked, evil, reptilian-like being that's doing all these rituals on these people and using magic the wrong way and esoterics and, all kinds of horrible things. We, the people, need to stop this stuff. And they're getting all this airtime, but survivors like me, yeah, we'll get shows, we'll get this, we'll get that, but they're out there, they're making money, and, they're saying, oh, this is the truth, and people are biting into it. But the real truth is right here, is right here. And people who are real genuine, I feel there's a lot of people that are in this just to make money. I'm not in this to make money. I'm in this to speak truth in volumes. Is Sam Skywalker from the UK?
I'm not sure. I think he's from Germany.
Okay, yeah, because if
he's tagging an old show through right now. He might just get removed.
Repair the universe. Thank you, Steve. Exactly. We got to repair the universe. We got to rebuild the universe. We got to rebuild it. Sovereignty, not government. Sovereignty. Take back what is ours. Take back what is ours. They do not have the power. We have the power. Take your power back if you haven't already. Face your fears, because every time you speak, you're going to speak even louder and louder and louder and louder to the rooftops and say, we're here and we're not going to allow this stuff to continue to happen to humanity. And the divide is going to stop and the unity is going to blossom. And we are going to become very collective, and we are going to become one. And we are going to, the garbage is going to be removed. That's what's happening right now. All the storms, everything that's going on. All the grid workers, Steve, grid worker, goes in. We go in these different missions where we, pull energy out of black boxes. It's negative energy and remove it. You just get rid of it. Like, I can dissolve an energy. Psionically, I can dissolve an energy. Psionically, I can just totally forget, like I did, in the past, where I can erase a whole situation in my mind that happened. And later on, I'll be like, what were you talking about? What were you talking about? I don't remember that. Like, it's gone. I've dissolved it. I've dissolved it. I've shrunken it, dissolved it, and got rid of it. Disperse. Disperse that negative energy. Get that negative energy off of you. Stay strong. Stand freaking tall. Stand up against these elite forces. Stand up against it. Don't believe everything you hear on the internet. Do your own research. I don't expect you to believe in me. On August 11, 1990, a specific historical relevant person was born whose fate is deeply connected to everything that went on. Inner work, recover your memories. Yes, thank you. Yes. Sam, I like some, not like, like these. See, this is the problem that I deal with sometimes, and it kind of gets in my mind and it pisses me off a little bit, is I might not know the names or certain people or whatever, waking up to this stuff is, I don't know if you're in the US, buddy, but I have family that work at Plum Island. I have family that are, fucking Homeland Security. I have family that have worked in the Brookhaven National Laboratory. I don't need to continue to, I understand this stuff. Trust me. You don't have to try to school me on anything. I pick up an energy that I'm not liking. I'm feeling it right now.
I did too right away.
I'm feeling it right now. Sam Skywalker, who are you really? Who are you really? Reveal your real self. Tell me who you are. Well, you're sitting there and you're going on and on and on and on and on and talking about stuff that I'm sitting here talking about stuff that really matters. A person that's gone doesn't mean, tomorrow, August 12th. What's August 12th? I believe it's the ending of the Montauk. One of the, times at Montauk and the Beast and all that shit.
German.
Okay, well, continue researching. You don't understand. Yeah, exactly. You're in Germany. I am in the United States, okay? And also family was Air Force, by the way. Okay, happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I was talking about something else, but I'll let you do your research so you can find out that too. Just keep doing your research because there's more to this than, trust me, you gotta continue doing your research. And to be honest, questions are better at times. I feel. Thanks, guys. Laugh. What's so funny about I don't find anything funny about anything I said really in the beginning of this interview at all, my friend. So if you really think that anything is funny, it's not. I will probably go break down in tears after this interview because it always happens that way with me. What happens is I get off, I'll play a song, and all of my emotions will just, oh my God.
We're just going to cut it from right there.
Go, dude, yes, and yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. And I'm not answering complex questions. What are you outer rim? What are you Okay, dude, not everybody is seasoned in SSP as much as they are the super soldier. I did explain I burned colonies on Mars. I did speak a little bit about that stuff, okay? Beyond the void, exactly. Yes. We have been everywhere. Thank you. But you get what I'm saying, Steve. You get how I am. I'm very rigid at times because you know what? That's how I was built. I was built to be indestructible. I was built to be a force not to be reckoned with. I was built to become, but I'm changing that now. I'm reversing that to a more positive. But at the same time, when I find something that's not funny, and somebody's laughing emoji, they kind of think it's funny. No, you're not the disclosure. You're in Germany, buddy. You're not. You're trying to disclose, but what do you say? We have been everywhere. Yeah. Well, that's the part C that a lot of people won't understand. And I apologize if I got rude with anybody on your show.
No, that's fine.
I don't. So what's so funny about me misunderstanding you? Like, bro, go put your face, no disrespect, go put your face in a laptop and start doing your research. I'm not speaking to you anymore. Conversation's over.
I was laughing.
No disrespect, but I came on here. What was funny that how I said something? What was funny? I don't find anything funny about how I said anything. I don't. That's just my way of dealing with it. It's not funny to me. I try to bring it out in what maybe you might in the freaking UK or wherever you're at. I mean, I guess
I'm not even sure that person is who they say they are. It's very funny that they take my old show. So kind of have an idea who that is.
Yeah, I told you. I can go on anyone's show and people will show up under fake names. You guys weren't getting what info. I don't need your info, my friend. That's number one.
Right.
I don't go by other people's info, all right? Unless I match your energy. And right now your energy is dark and you need to cleanse. And please respect me and my energy and where I am at right now and respect my wishes and disattach from me because I feel you're trying to grab at me and I'm about to tell one of my soldiers that are in the chat to just clean you up with some energy.
A different note. What's up, Tony?
Go for it. Steve, take it out on him. Let that energy blow. And let Betty Boop blow him a kiss too. Oh, man. We go by our internal memories, our trauma release. See what I'm saying? This is the type of person. That's what I like to hear, you know? I like to hear this type of stuff because this explains to your audience, maybe we should go by our internal memories, you know what I mean? And our trauma releases. Because every memory I have, right? It actually, there's a trauma release with a bunch of emotions. Like you might cry, you might get angry, you might get frustrated, you know? You might get, some people have Stockholm syndrome. Some people will abandonment, you know, feeling like they're not being heard, you know, things like that. That's definitely, you know, a big thing, internal memories and our trauma releases. When you're sitting there with somebody and they start telling you something about you, right? But it wasn't really you, it was your alter. But again, it's you because it's a part of you and the missing pieces. Body shakes, explosive, energetic, releases pain in the body. Yep. That's right. It does. That's right. It does. Release that Kundalini. Absolutely. Release that Kundalini. Real good Kundalini energy is, you know, and dragon, you know, blood. And then we got the lion and the dragon. So, you know, woo. Yeah. The lion and the dragon. Powerful. That was, yeah.
Great interview. I think we can about wrap it up right here. We're about an hour and 20 in. Any points you want to leave, or
just don't take my word for any of this stuff. All right, do your research, look into it. I don't mean to come off sometimes like that, but sometimes I have to. You know, a lot of us super soldiers, MK Ultra, whatever programs we've been in, we have what is called a front-sided altar, which a front-sided altar usually is the soldier in me, which that's where, you know, voice, all kinds of things. And sometimes people will, and some of you might. So you got my Facebook. It's written down, you know, in the description. Look me up, message me. I'll check you out. I'll feel your energy. I'll scan you before I even talk to you. Okay. That's what I do. I don't really just jump on with anyone unless I know it's through someone that is not going to send me something negative that I'm gonna have a hard time to deal with, you know. And I felt energy in here before. I cleansed. I feel like getting cleansed now. Do you? Like, I feel like it's cleansing now. Something cleansed.
Yeah.
I think he got the point. He was being, you know, very rude. He was, to be honest. Like, it's just, you know, they weren't even questions. They were like, he wanted me to.
You want to argue with you?
Yeah. Why do you want to argue with him? I would shut him down. He's not from the U.S. He doesn't know me. You know, I always make a joke. We'll make a joke, you know. Never shit in the same toilet I shit in. He's never fucked in the same school I do. He's not a real friend of mine. I don't know him. He's just some internet fucking personality. That's it. That's all he is to me. That's all he is to me. I mean, yeah, he has a soul, maybe. I don't know. I can't see his eyes. So, but I felt a real dark, you know, energy where I said, you know what? I'm going to let Steve handle this because Steve is very good at removing garbage. And yeah, just be careful with him on your shows, man, because I'm hoping to get some other people on your show. We definitely should set one up for me, you, and Steve.
Absolutely. Steve, shoot me a friend request or email me at lostoftherabbithole@gmail.com or just set something up with Rocko.
Argue with you.
What's that?
Heart palpitate. The super dark PSI came from the person I was trying. How do you know that for sure, though, man? Like, you see, once again, there's so much to this. Like, what's up? Why do you use coded words with me? Like, are you trying to trigger me? Because it's not working. I can tell you that right now. You're actually making me laugh. Like you're this world-renowned researcher. You probably read a lot of books. I picked that up. I pick up you're also very insecure with yourself. I also pick up that you just like to jump on shows and try to start arguments with folks. And you know what? It didn't work with me. I got a little sad. Huh? He said, not really doing much, but I did feel my heart palpitate. So that means the energetic, who is lost through.
That's me.
Oh, that's cool. that you got up there like that. So you're YouTube. Where else? Not Spot. Is it Spotify?
YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, TikTok. TikTok, we got a pretty big following. I for some reason can't link the lives to TikTok, but we're working on it. We can probably take some of the footage and add it up through TikTok that way.
You can do short videos. I mean,
Yeah.
like clips. What might happen with this you can do with this video is you probably could turn it into some clips on YouTube. And sometimes people like, I mean, I had some bullet points in there, like some pretty interesting stuff. Pulling an altar and doing all that stuff, and it's definitely But with the beings, like you were asking before, I mean, I know that there are good races, but it seems like I have yet to really, that I know of, and I'm sure Steve would know, but I don't remember ever really having good communication with them. And this is why I said, I'm not going to sit here and tell you something I don't remember or something I don't know, especially if I have not researched it. And my main thing is retrieving my IBIS memories, my space memories. I'm on pretty good track with my Montauk memories. It's trust me. So, as time goes on, like I said, you all can find me at Facebook. It's pinned down at the bottom. But anybody that's here that follows me, that listens to me, that hits that like button on my channel or my Facebook, definitely come over here, hit the like and hit the subscribe for my friend. He was, very respectful. I thank you for having me on your show.
No problem, man. Anytime.
An honor. What's that?
I said no problem. Anytime.
It's always one thing I've learned also psionics teach you is like kindness. So if I put kindness in the air, it's going to kill a negative energy because I really like his heart palpitated. I started feeling energy in my body, so like, I think sometimes there are people that think that they're, they get involved so much that they think they know the answer, but they don't know the answer. You know what I mean? Like it's because they're so heavily convinced that what they found out is to be the truth. Well, show me the documentation by the CIA and then I'll believe you. Because I'll tell you right now, Montauk information, it's been conveniently destroyed. What about Thomas Alvin? I want to know what he said. What about Thomas Alvin? Steve?
Exposing him.
Rocko broke my heart. Oh, now here we go. Oh, by the way, I will pray for you. Don't worry. I know it's a fake account. I know what you're doing. I know what's about to happen. And, sorry, but I'm kind of glad. People are just disgusting. I mean, what they do. I don't know how I broke your heart, but I don't know you per se. I've never seen the Zen Ray. I know that's not his account. And you're a fake account again. So, well, no.
Oh, I thought that was somebody you knew.
What? See, this is what I mean. I'm a targeted individual, my friend. I'm targeted. Oh, you're a clown. You know that? You're so funny. You're so cute. Why don't you go look at yourself in the mirror? Well, next time you have there won't be a next time because I don't like you. Honestly. Now I'm gonna keep it real with you 100% to the fucking teeth.
Sam, I pretty much got an idea of who you are too.
Yeah, asking about him.
You really take the old show that I was in.
Oh, you were on?
Yeah, that's actually that hashtag was one of my first shows. We'll talk about that.
So how do we know if this guy is full of shit or talking facts? Well, again, I can tell you right now, I don't two flying if you believe me. Okay, I know what happened to me. I know, I feel what happened to me. I have relived what has happened to me. I do shadow work. I do energy work. Something that a lot of you people that live in a small world, small-minded, pea-sized brains that have no idea about anything other than just acting like an idiot and coming in on an interview and I'm just going to school you. I don't need to watch nothing. You need to just go away. How about that? You're a joke.
I agree with him.
Connect to the stars, the real SSP. Exactly. Thank you. If you speak with a little bit of respect, then maybe you won't look like a. You know what, dude? I don't have to speak with nothing. You're not my father. You haven't raised me. You don't pay a monthly paycheck. You don't pay, so I don't have to listen to a word you say. Sorry, brother, but hey, the sword can be sharpened at any given point. Well, let me tell you something. The scary movie guy, he's just, no, he. Let me tell you, that was years ago, and that's when I first woke up. And he's a clown because he never took the video down. I really don't care. He's just some fat pudgy guy that eats a bunch of cheeseburgers and sits in front of a fucking computer and makes fucking sci-fi fucking flicks. Okay, so I don't have time for fakes, phonies, frauds. Kay, I'm here. Kay, I'm here. See.
Hey, Rocko, I took them off already.
Huh?
They're gone.
Who? All those people?
Yeah. But
I'm doing
yeah.
You need to cult. You need to tell your cult to leave me alone. Honestly, leave me alone. Hey, man, I was not being offensive. Even the host, was I being offensive?
No.
What was I doing? Just like, I want your synopsis on that. How you felt about that?
Honestly, I was kind of offended about you hashtagging my whole show, though. You can honestly get off my platform, Sam.
Yeah, Sam is somebody who went and gave all these people my information. This show's information.
What should we call that? We're just gonna let it go, dude. It's been a good interview.
Archon. Yo, my friend is funny, Steve. Oh, wait till you get Steve on here. The energy will really. Literally, the internet completely went last night. Like completely, like the energy build up. You know what I mean? Like I've seen that happen before. Like people getting into arguments. Okay, all right. Well, technically, I was, and that is.
Hey, Rocko, don't even fight with him. We're not doing that here. This isn't a witch hunt. This is my show. If you have a problem about it, you can go on another platform and argue with other people. But we're not doing that. He came here to tell his story, and that's what he did in his experiences. And if you've got a problem with it, you're definitely on the wrong show. With that being said, I really appreciate you coming and sharing your experiences with all of us.
This is two nights in a row. These people.
I'll explain it to you off camera, though.
Yeah, we need to talk about
that. Later, everybody. Thanks for coming. Those of you that didn't argue, we appreciate it.
Love you all.
Bye.